following program makes use of copywritten material as part of a psychological examination of music. All music copyrights remain property of their respected creators. I would just like to refer to our listeners interested in getting some tattoos or body piercing anytime soon. FN Classy Tattoos, where you're going to find artists, true tattoo gurus of high-end body art. You remember when your mama used to tell you that tattoos are forever? Well, she was right, and you deserve to have professional artwork on your biological canvas. And this Sunday, April 17, 2016, from noon to 10 p.m., FN Classy Tattoo Studio will be holding a benefit for Mr. Ron Creech to help with his medical bills from his unfortunate motorcycle accident. Now, Ron is a dude who has helped others who have had similar unfortunate circumstances, and I can personally vouch considering he was there when my sister had a benefit event for her medical bills. And we would like you all to come out, listen to some jams, eat, get tatted up, or just stop by to check out the shop. All proceeds will be going to Ron's medical bills. FCT has moved their location recently. You can find them at 2804 Lake Road, Huntsville, Texas. They are generally open Tuesday through Saturday, 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. Call and make an appointment today, 936-435-9300. Their perfectly fitting motto is, "We fix cheap tattoos." Effing classy. If you didn't get FCT, then you probably got screwed.
Hey, friendos, welcome to the show. Today's show, which you're about to hear, is probably the most interesting show we've ever done for you guys because moi, yours truly, the one you love, the one that you paid to see, is not a part of the show today.
A few things on that.
We don't got to get into the details. But anyways, John, you did the show with Logan McCune today.
Right, absolutely.
And I got to listen to the show, and I think you did a great job.
Thank you, sir.
I have a few critiques, but I don't want to go on air without that because I don't want the listeners to hear you cry on the air. So,
well, I appreciate that.
We'll go into it afterwards. But anyways, Logan McCune, local sensation in Huntsville. I didn't get the chance to see him before, but you got a chance to see him, and you scouted him out, and you brought him on board. And honestly, it was a good show. I really enjoyed it, and dude's got some skills on that guitar.
Oh man, yeah.
He's got a few songs he's gonna play at the end of the show that honestly, one of them almost made me weep. And
we don't want the listeners to hear you.
No.
cry.
We talking about fuck. I wasn't gonna cry. Fuck that shit. Nah, man. It's for the wimps. Anyways, Logan McCune, fantastic artist. Before we go into the show real quick, I need to say some of his music is so good. I totally could hear it being played on like an indie movie soundtrack. So we're gonna start a hashtag get Logan McCune on an indie movie soundtrack.
That's a lot of letters.
But fuck it, let's go for it. Anyways, Johnny, take us there, baby.
Welcome to the Conversationalist. Happy to have you.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, man. What would you classify the music that you do?
It's indie basically. It's like indie folk music.
Right. Isn't indie kind of like a category that describes pretty much anything not normal?
Exactly. Yeah. Some of it is you could probably say it's folk. Some of it's just alternative,
Right.
If you wanted to group it into a category.
Right. I personally don't listen to too much folk, so like it was, kind of easy for me to like put it into like a specific category because I'm not, familiar with that kind of music. Very it sounds very Bob Dylan like influenced.
Yeah, it is. It's singer-songwriter, it influenced by him a little bit, but I wasn't influenced by him early, like not until college,
Have you always had that kind of sound?
I think so. It just came with starting to write songs. When I started to write songs, the words that I would write, I mean, it just made sense for me to sing them in that style.
Right, absolutely. What other influences have you had?
I was influenced by a lot of like 90s country music growing up.
Really?
Yeah. Because that's what was on the radio.
Right, CMT.
Sort of. But my dad had Steve Miller. Steve Miller and the Eagles were the earliest ones.
Right.
And those are my earliest influences. Since then, and since my mind's been open to all the music out there, I'm influenced by everything now.
That's awesome. That's amazing. So what kind of like 90s country particularly did you really enjoy?
Well, there's a band called Restless Heart. They had a song called Bluest Eyes in Texas.
Okay, I've heard that one. It's on a movie.
Yeah, it's on Boys Don't Cry.
Boys Don't Cry, yeah. There was the karaoke.
Yeah, and a band called the Cardigans covered that song really beautifully.
The Cardigans did a cover of that?
Yes.
Okay, I like the Cardigans.
Nina Pearson or whatever her name is. She's really hot and she's awesome. But yeah, Restless Heart, Little Texas. They had a song called Amy's Back in Austin back in the day. Those two bands are really, really just pretty ballad Texas country bands that influenced me when I was probably like 5 years old.
That's pretty cool. So how old are you?
27.
27. Okay. And you like that older particular kind of country?
I like 90s country. That's about it, Whenever I was probably 13, that's whenever I heard the song With or Without You by U2.
Right.
And I was like, I love that song, And then I heard the song by them called One. They were a song called One. Really
right.
hugely popular.
I forgot how that goes.
It's hard.
But I know that I liked it.
It's an awesome song. I heard it on...
It's like, one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think about the first verse. It has a cool guitar lick at the beginning. Anyways, I heard that on a preview for a movie, a Nicolas Cage movie.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. And I was like, man, that song is awesome,
Right.
And I put two and two together, and U2 did both of those. So then I went into this huge U2 phase, and that they were the first band that I liked other than 90s country, Eagles, and Steve Miller.
So I like we're talking U2. I like In the Name of Love. Stand, I think is that what it's called? Pride
in the Name of Love. Yeah.
In the Name of Love. Man, that song is awesome.
I get a lot of shit for liking U2 around here too.
Yeah, well, we're not proud of it, man. It's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
is what it's considered around here. It's like how I feel about No Doubt. Has become a guilty pleasure.
It's just amazing. Ever since I got into college, especially, I say something about U2,
Right.
And they're like, U2 fucking sucks. Something like that. I'm like, whatever, man. I like that.
Who are you talking to? Like the high school bully?
Yeah, pretty much. There's a lot of them out there. Oh, and Jimmy Buffett also.
All right. Hey, Hebrew's my favorite beer, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Landshark.
Yeah.
It's my favorite damn. It's amazing.
I have drank it, but I don't remember what it tastes like.
It's kind of like in that Corona type
class.
Of light Pilsner. Hard to explain, man.
Yeah.
So when did you start doing music?
I started playing music whenever I was probably 18. I played sports all my life. My dad was a football coach.
That's an interesting transition.
Yeah, I went from I played quarterback on my high school football team. I went from that being straight jock kind of guy to learning G, C, and D on the guitar, and having that sort of magic happen changed my life. Started
Absolutely.
Singing and playing around. I just want to be the guy who can bust out his guitar, and just play in a group setting or in a campfire setting. But now it's taken off, Now I'm writing songs and playing, bars and stuff. But yeah, about 18 years old whenever I started.
That's pretty cool. I mean, have you ever saw yourself doing that before that?
I always kind of dreamed of it, but I never thought that I could do it, actually do it, or be good enough to do it, or write songs that had that high quality enough to perform them for people.
Well, I mean, that's I've heard you play, and it's high quality.
Right.
Sounds great.
Early, I just didn't know, because you don't know when you first pick up something. You don't know where it's going to go.
Right, absolutely.
And it just kept progressing and progressing enough to where I knew that the songs were good enough to present.
So, did you pretty much teach yourself, or did you have somebody at all kind of guide you?
Well, I had my best friend and I started plucking around on guitars.
Right.
And we just fill around with them, and we learned a few songs, or tried to play the songs,
Right.
I mean, he helped me a lot, just having someone there with me to play, and we get together and we'd make it a point to play and try to learn. So that helped, having someone else there.
That's
and
cool.
I have music in my family.
Okay. So, have other instruments, like, did you have a lot of those other instruments around whenever you were growing up? Did you try the piano, or?
I in high school I had a keyboard. I bought a keyboard, and or it was given to me, and I taught myself how to play chords, 3-finger chords on it.
Right.
So I know how to play chords on a keyboard. I love playing keyboards. So I had a keyboard around, and then the guitar was just too hard for me to do.
Right. It's complicated when you don't already kind of have it.
Right.
Once you know how to play guitar, it's pretty simple to do. Of course, your comfort zone. Like you can play the way that you're playing right now, and if you try to do some stuff out of your comfort zone, it's probably the same difficulty as like playing guitar in the first place.
It really is.
Hurts your fingers when you don't have it.
It's just that mental strain, that you gotta bear down and learn this. I was playing with Derek Ely. I don't know if you know who that is.
I do not.
He's awesome lead guitar player and guitar player in general. And I was playing with him the other day, and he was showing me all these different, just
it's overwhelming
variation chord shapes, just all these different. And he was spitting a lot of just music knowledge at me, and I was just like, man, I have really been playing guitar way wrong, for a long time. And I was like, man, I got to learn everything that you know.
Right. That's some complicated stuff. I know that there's a lot for me to go on guitar, and it's I don't want to make that next step.
Yeah, it's like,
being comfortable.
I mean, it's like busting through a wall,
It is. It's a whole different animal. So, I mean, have you thought of doing anything outside of your comfort zone whenever it comes to music? Because it sounds very similar, but at the same time, you have a niche. You have something, that you could listen to something and be like, oh, okay, so that's Logan. That's definitely his kind of music. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh, absolutely. Right now we're trying to. There's a lot of good musicians around town.
Right. It's pretty insane that we have, and I've said this before several times to other people. We have many musicians in Huntsville with no scene, and finally it's been a good while. I think that we've got a scene growing now. I think we have something going on.
We do, especially since Josie's is having or 12th Street Bar is having live music every Saturday night.
Absolutely.
And that helps a lot. And like I was saying, there's Greg Pickett and
right.
There's Shane Doyle. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyways, we're just trying to get together a lot, and there's many others, probably 5 or 6 others.
Right.
Trying to finally get together and just play, because that's what a lot of us just lack, just playing with each other, and instead of being isolated, playing by yourself in your room all the time,
Yeah, I mean, and that's what breeds inspiration, especially with other people. You know, the more that we've got something going on, and a lot of the reason why we even do this podcast is at least the interview aspect of what we do here. We're trying to build it, man. The more that we've got going on, the better this town is going to be in that aspect.
And playing with these guys, that's what it gets me out of my comfort zone. It makes me learn all this, and it just really opens you up,
right,
to a lot of new things.
Absolutely. So what kind of recordings do you have?
I have a 8-track recorder, digital recorder.
Oh, okay.
At my house that I record on, and a layer.
So you do your own recordings?
Yes, I have also recorded with Greg Pickett. I've done a 10-song record, bootleg record.
Fantastic sound engineer.
Yeah, it was fun. Me and my cousin Eddie just got really drunk. Well, not really drunk, but loose enough where we could go in there and basically, do one takes.
Right.
One or two. I mean, maybe one had 3 takes.
Right.
Just went in there.
Hey, man, the more takes, the more, I mean, it shows that you really care about your end product,
right.
The more that you put into it.
But him and I, we had been playing around the area for probably a year, playing the same,
Right.
So we had him pretty well hearsed up.
That's good.
So we went in there with Greg and just knocked it out. And I sold a few and gave a lot of them away to people.
That's great.
So,
how many tracks are on it?
I think there's 10.
Wow.
There's 7 originals and there's a couple covers.
Okay.
He's a really good harmony singer and lead guitar player. So a few covers really led to his talents.
That's good.
Let him shine.
So, I mean, did he play on all of those tracks?
Yes, he played on every one.
That's good. So you've got music that you do with other people as well as.
Yeah, I mean, I played with him. He's a great guitar player. He's my cousin Eddie Dean. He plays for a band called Pushwater.
Okay.
They play 5 nights a week. They make a living doing it.
What kind of music?
They're Americana, Texas country Americana band.
That's cool.
Pretty much, but
I don't even know what that's classified. I don't even know what it sounds like.
It's country-ish,
right,
with folk, songwriters. I mean, that kind of influence. You'd have to listen to it, but they're really badass.
Oh, I'll believe it, man. What all kinds of shows have you done? You were saying earlier it was about like bars, usually.
Yes, it's bars.
Bars and
I mean, I've played a few outside things, playing outside at like little festivals, like Huntsville does one, the Main Street Music Series, where they have bands play out there by the courthouse. We play on the courthouse lawn, done stuff like that.
I think my sister's played there a couple times.
Really? Yeah. It's supposed to be getting bigger or something. I don't know, but I've done that, and but yeah, other than that, mostly inside of bars and house concerts, stuff like that.
That's pretty cool. Well, what kind of direction do you want to go?
I just really want to. Right now, I feel like I need to make a record. I need to have something I can give to people in bulk rather than just bootleg CDs, with my name written on them with a Sharpie and maybe a little smiley face or something,
Yeah.
That I've been giving out and passing around for a couple of years, and random, songs that I've made and recordings. Now I just feel like the next step is to, I don't know, kind of package something up,
professionalize it up a little bit.
A little bit. I mean, the music is going to be still the same-ish.
Right.
I mean, I'm not gonna tweak the music. The music's gonna be, as loose and as free as it needs to be.
Absolutely.
Just the packaging. I just need something I can give people.
Well, that's cool, man. I really like your sound, and it already has a professional touch to it. You know, I mean that it almost sounds like the more, you know, if you wanted to tweak it any direction, the music aspect of it, it would feel like it is constricting its freeness.
You're right.
You know. But yeah, man. I mean, so what about like touring? Is that something you've considered?
I toured with Bushwater. I went with them and played in Austin, and then we played on the Blanco River. And I really went with them, and they showed me what it's like to really be a band and be out there driving. I mean, we slept in the van, you know, 2 nights. I mean, it's awesome, and it's also crazy, and it's also really can be really shitty, you know.
I believe it. Yeah.
I would love to do that. That's kind of where I'm moving towards.
Right.
I'm playing South by Southwest on Thursday.
You're playing South by Southwest.
I'm playing at a venue.
At a venue.
At South by Southwest venue, which is like, it's awesome for me because I never thought I'd do that.
That sounds great.
I've always been going to, you know, South by Southwest, and I see all the musicians like, man, this is awesome. I just never thought I would actually be playing during it, you know.
So I've never gone.
It's amazing.
It sounds. So are you from Austin?
I'm not from Austin, but I recently lived there for about a year. I just moved back to Huntsville from Austin.
So you're from Huntsville?
I'm from Jewett, Texas.
Sounds familiar.
Jewett, it's about an hour north. It's by Buffalo and Centerville. It's Leon County. Little town, man. There's a little town called Marquay. I lived in Jewett and Marquay. Jewett and Marquay consolidate to make a school called Leon High School. That's where I went. Small town, man. And I went to college here. Graduated like 6 years ago. That's crazy for me to say. And kind of piddle around.
When did you graduate? What year?
December of 2010.
2010. In Huntsville?
Yeah, right here.
Okay.
Of college. I graduated college December 2010.
Okay. Where'd you go to high school?
High school at Leon High School. I graduated Leon High School in 2006. So yeah, it just reminds me I'm getting a little bit older.
What kind of degree you got?
I have a victimology degree.
What's that?
It's like a counseling degree.
Oh, that's cool.
That's what I was doing in Austin. I was a case manager for guys who just got out of prison.
Oh wow.
And that was crazy. Really crazy. So many of them, so many of those guys.
I'm sure that would be useful in Huntsville.
Yeah, I just I don't think I'm going to do that again.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to.
I'm not going to do it again at all. So, but it was a good experience.
That's good, man. That's what life's about. Experiences.
The only problem was I lived in Austin for that whole year. I wasn't able to really get out and play a lot, you know, because I was working too much.
Dude, that would be the reason to go to Austin.
That's why I took the job, you know. But once I got sucked into that corporate sort of
9 to
job,
5,
I just got sucked in. The weekends, man, I get off. I just get slammed drunk, you know.
Right.
You know, recover on Sunday and sleep, and just get mentally prepared for a whole nother thing. So I can only do that for so long, and I'm glad it's over with.
Yeah, man, I can imagine. I mean, the job that I have is so draining that really I don't want to do anything on my time off. And you would think that I would, you know.
Yeah, I know how that is. Rest goes a long way, man. You gotta get your rest.
So what do you do now, man?
Right now, I work at a restaurant, wait tables, and that frees me up to do whatever I want.
That's fantastic.
I can work whenever I want, get off whenever I want, you know. I play a show whenever I want, drive, you know.
And waiting tables can make money if you've got it in you.
Yeah, and I've been doing that. You know, I did it all through college, and it's just easy money, man.
Is it? I'm terrible with memory. I don't think I could, like, hold people's orders in my brain for that long.
Yeah, I mean, after you do it for year after year, you know, you just get you can get trained. You just get trained to do it, and
it's all subconscious.
It's all second nature, you know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just easy
I don't know
money.
if that'll ever happen to me.
Some people aren't cut out for it, you know.
I would probably be one of those people, but
a lot of people aren't actually.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. So, where do you work at?
Oh, Farmhouse Cafe.
Farmhouse Cafe. It's been there forever.
It's busy, man. It's busy.
Right. And it has a branch over here on the square, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, they got one right here on the square. Where am I at? Yeah, and they got one over there by the prison.
By the prison, yeah. Ish. Across from Five Loaves.
Across from Five Loaves.
Is that the one you work at?
That's the one I work at.
Okay. Yeah, I used to work at Five Loaves, but it wasn't Five Loaves. It was next door. It was a restaurant owned by Five Loaves. Windows is what it was called.
What kind of food they sell?
Italian.
Nice.
It was before Olive Garden. So, you know, if anybody wanted a nice meal, you know, like a expensive-ish meal, you know, that was Italian or whatever, you know, that was the place that everybody went, and I was washing their dishes.
Hey, I've washed my share of dishes, man.
I believe it, man. Once you're a part of the restaurant team, you kind of have to touch base a little bit everywhere.
No doubt. I worked at the Junction. I don't know if you remember that restaurant in town. It's on 11th Street.
Right. 1836.
Now it's 1836.
Yeah.
Now I worked there. I washed dishes there for like 2 years.
Have you eaten at the 1836?
No, I haven't gone yet.
It's not bad.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, for expensive-ish kind of food, you know, and I mean Huntsville expensive.
Yeah.
It's really not bad on price. It's not real expensive. You can still get a cheeseburger for like $10.
There you go.
So
yeah, I've heard good things about it.
It's good. I mean, it's like, it feels like fine dining in certain aspects of it, but in other aspects it's not. Like, I dressed up, and there was the piano guy playing.
They got a piano guy in there?
Got a pianist.
Nice.
I was looking for an excuse to say that. And they've got everything that's like really nice, but then, you know, you can still dress normal, and you've got kids kind of jumping up in the seats and everything. Nobody cares. It's really comfortable I think it's what Huntsville needs.
Yeah.
You know, that sense of comfortable, you know.
So they still got the whole upstairs thing going.
Yeah, that's where we ate whenever we went.
Nice.
But the food's good.
I'll give it a shot.
And they don't pay me for ads in this podcast, so I guess we'll talk about your music. No, man. So you haven't had any other kind of training or anything? You never took any classes for your music?
No, never did. I've had a few girlfriends who were classically trained, you know,
right,
piano players.
They
or a music, you know.
They teach you anything?
I tried to pick up on what I could, but like, it's a wall, man.
Yeah.
That, like, reading music, that's a wall, man. That's like learning a new language for me.
I can't do it, man.
I can.
I've tried. I can read tabs.
Yeah, I can read tabs.
I mean, I guess it would be pretty bad if you can't read tabs.
Yeah, I mean, I can basically, you know, I can do that, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I don't have any training, but I do. I'm always open whenever I'm playing with people to pick up and absorb, you know. That's how I learned, you know, to play the instrument, and to sing and just scope the songs, you know.
Have you ever just random jams with people?
Oh yeah. We're actually doing that a lot more here in town.
That's great.
You know.
So are you good, like, whenever somebody has like a riff that they're already playing? Are you good to go after that and just try to come up with something that's affiliated with that kind of riff?
Absolutely, I can do that. One of my most favorite things to do is to like, someone wrote a poem or wrote a song and just has the words. I just like to put music to and sing their words.
Right.
I really enjoyed it. It's really a fun thing for me to do. Just like playing covers and making them your own.
We need to do this sometime, man.
Yeah. I mean, if you got a, songs written or whatever, or poems, or I don't know if you write or whatever.
Yeah.
But I love to just look to put chords to them and sing them. That's one of the most gratifying things for me to do.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
One of the songs that I played, it's called "It Don't Show on Me."
Right.
I found it at my mom's house, and it was a song written by my uncle, who was in a wheelchair for the last 15, 20 years of his life.
Wow.
And it just somehow surfaced up there at her house. I was like, this is a song, and he had the chords written out, and everything, and really legibly, like he wanted somebody to pick it up and, and play it.
That's amazing.
And he died 10 years ago, but I was like, man, I'm gonna put this song on. I'm gonna record this song. I'm gonna start playing this song.
And that's on your SoundCloud, isn't it?
And that's not on my SoundCloud.
That's not on your SoundCloud. Okay.
The songs that I played earlier, or that I'm playing for this, have not been recorded.
Right.
Yet. They're brand new.
Right.
And when I do record them, I'm probably gonna record them with Greg, so they'll have a little polish on it.
Yeah, that's amazing. If you ever wanted anything polished, man, Greg's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, he's done some recordings for me, and I have to definitely say he did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
So, have you ever played electric, or really ever gotten a comfort with playing electric? Do you play differently, or do you play the same that you do?
Whenever I play electric guitar, one of my favorite things to do with these little pretty acoustic songs that I have, is to go behind them with some, I don't know, heavy, pretty heavy distortion.
Right.
And just kind of put it in there, subtly,
Oh man.
And just kind of change the whole dynamic of the song with a really powerful, amped up electric guitar.
Right.
That's really fun for me to do.
It's not like the big 90s alternative chunk, is it? Like the
No.
Oh,
no,
man.
It's more like,
if you ever needed that, I could always.
There's always a place. You can always make a place for something like that. I have no issue with that at all.
That's cool, man.
But I love playing electric guitar. I love distorting.
Do you have any?
The
you have
shit
one?
of it. I don't.
You don't.
I have had some.
Right.
At this moment, I do not. But I do have an amp, and I can plug in my acoustic to it and really distort the crap out of it.
Oh, that's awesome, man. What kind of amp do you have?
A little PV backstage amplifier that I record with my 8-track.
So it's probably more designed for an electric guitar.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Right. I've seen those acoustic amps. I see them all the time because I'm frequently in the music store whenever I'm not at work.
Yeah.
But I actually don't understand what the difference is or what they do.
I don't either. I don't know.
I know they probably don't have a distortion.
yeah, they don't have distortion on it. My buddy had one of those acoustic amps forever, one of those vintage ones, He used to love it and talk about it all the time, but I don't remember what he used to say.
It's like, well, it's like it's just like a small version of a PA.
Yeah. Yeah, but he would always rave on about it. I was like, cool, man. I'm glad you like it.
Oh, man, you don't even know the tone, man.
Yeah, stuff like that.
You can change the tone and it's got that and
this and that. And I'm like, cool, dude.
But the highs and the lows, man.
Yeah.
It's got tubes, man.
Yes. He would speak that way for sure.
As we all do as musicians, man.
And I'm still learning, all the gear part of it all, getting a good guitar, and because used to I'm just like, who cares if it's a good guitar? I can make it sound all right,
But yeah, that's
then
not
you get
true.
on stage. Then you get on stage and you can't keep the guitar in tune.
Right? Yeah.
The electricity will cut out in the middle of the song.
Right.
And something like that, and that's hard to get over during a performance.
It ultimately, I think the biggest thing is tone, and what you're going for in the sound. If you want it, really a certain way on the lows or the highs of your strings or whatever. Are you particular about your strings?
I used to buy cheap strings,
Right.
But I don't anymore.
Right.
Because I would break them. They wear out too easy. Now I buy basically the most expensive light strings there are.
Right.
Okay.
Light strings.
Like
I can tell, you're just kind of like just almost hovering over your strings whenever you're playing them. It just feels like you don't have like a lot of pressure on them.
That's not a lot. They're light gauge strings, man, and especially whenever I'm in finger picking mode,
They pop on you ever?
Never.
Good.
I'm in a phase now where I'm finger picking basically everything.
Right.
And I'll strum, a little.
Yeah.
It just phases as I go, and I'll go in and out. I'll play with the pick sometimes.
Right. Do you not usually play with a pick?
No, not now.
When you do, what do you use?
What kind of pick do I use?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, a soft pick.
A lighter
soft one. Yeah, a light one.
Do you like the Dunlop nylons?
Actually, no. It's not. I guess it's not the really hard ones, but it's not the ones you can just like bend in half either.
Right,
I don't know.
What color is it?
It's black.
Black.
And it has brown spots on it.
Okay, so it's not one of these nylons.
Let me see that. No, but I do like those.
Yeah, they're pretty good, man. I like them. The problem with these nylons is they're very flappy. Whenever you play with them, so it almost kind of creates an alternate percussion to what you're doing, and it picks up and everything. And the Tortexes are probably ideal, but see, when I play acoustic guitar, which I do, not a lot, but when I do, I'm playing with that percussion. You know what I mean? Because I'm used to drums, so to have that, is a big deal for me.
Right. Whenever I break down and play with picks, it's usually whenever my fingers. I've been finger picking so much that my fingers have started to bleed too much,
right?
Or they've really started to get sore.
Right.
Especially playing live. If I play a few shows back to back live, I mean, the last show I'll probably have to play it with a pick.
Absolutely, man.
I'm not that conditioned yet,
Yeah, but it gets there, man. I mean, I only know so much. I just know, from whenever I was younger, and like I'd play for like 5 minutes, and my fingers would be, throbbing with pain, and I can play now, for so long, at least on the electric, and just kind of keep going, and my fingers very rarely get tired. But like I played open mic at 12th Street Bar not too long ago, and I played 4 songs, and my hand was friggin' killing me. I don't think that it was the strings that I was having a problem with. I think it was just like holding the guitar, man, just the way that my fingers were wide and stuff, man. It was complicated because I'm not used to playing acoustic.
Yeah.
That's I only really played my old songs,
Oh, you write songs too? You songwriter?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. I don't play folk country though.
How long you been writing songs?
I've been playing, little by little. Is this interview turning around?
Seems like it.
No. I've been playing, some form of music, ever since I was little, but, probably about 10, 12, I started really kind of focusing on the guitar, and it was pretty much always electric.
Right.
So
So you're based from the electric guitar.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's a thing. So it's me going in, whenever I do the acoustic, it's kind of, it's not that it's unfamiliar territory, because it definitely is acknowledged what goes where and how it's played, but it's like a whole different it's a whole different kind of music I've got to go about putting into it, because there's different things that sound better on acoustic and there's different things that sound better on electric, you know. Especially I like metal, so whenever I play guitar it's like a dig 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 dig, you know.
Yes.
And whenever I play acoustic, that sounds like shit.
Yeah. Those songs are made to be played on electric guitar for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. So you ever play drums?
I suck at drums, man. Bad.
See, I do too, but my favorite instrument to play by far.
Really?
Well, it's
fun because you get to bang. You get to bang the shit out of them.
Oh man, see, I feel like I play good drums, but then I'll have like my best friend who's not here today, who's the other, you know, host on the podcast. He's a badass drummer. So whenever he sees me even attempt to play drums, he's like, dude, put them down.
Yeah, well, no one ever really taught. I never was taught like a sequence, you know.
Right.
So I get on there and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I hit the kick drum,
Right.
I hit the snare, and my rhythm gets off a little bit. I guess I'm not a very good dancer either. Maybe that has something to do with it, you know. I'm just not very good at playing drums at all.
Yeah, see, it's multitasking for me.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at keeping a beat, I think, but I also kind of double hit the bass drum or whatever,
Yep.
like when I'm supposed to hit it once, and so it'll sound off, but I feel like I know what I'm doing, and it's pretty bad. But yeah, I mean, the one thing about, you know, being a musician is you learn one instrument, it'll help you with the other instrument. Especially in the rhythm aspect of things, you know, and really getting it like the biggest one in the middle there is the bass guitar. You know, if you can play drums, you know, it's going to help how you play the bass guitar. If you play the guitar, it's going to help with the bass guitar and back and forth, you know. It's that medium between, you know, rhythm and lead, I guess. It's just the ultimate rhythm aspect of things.
Most definitely.
With timing and
you got a good bass player, man, and in a band setting,
right.
he can fuel, or she can fuel it. You know, you can
Absolutely.
set the tone to everything, and it makes everything easy.
You know, I saw a band last night open for one of my favorite bands, and I'll have to say that's absolutely true, man. Because like the band itself was not that great. You know, they're touring from New York. You know, so they're really working right now.
Right.
This is their time to really push. You know, this is their moment to get their foot in the door. The bassist, though, it was, you know, it wasn't that he was technical or that he was specific, like too loud or volume, but I think that he was the one that was really tying everything together. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what they do. That's what the good ones do.
Absolutely, man. I mean, in this band, like, they had this they had this gimmick to them, so that was enough. The gimmick was enough because it was just like one chick with two backup singers, and they were all dancing like Supreme style.
Oh, wow.
But the music itself, like the guitar, it was beautiful. Like just really pretty, like random notes. You know, it wasn't running the rhythm though. You know, what was really running the rhythm was the bass, and the drummer was fucking awesome too.
That helps.
The bass is where you actually felt where the music was going. You know, what's supposed to be happening in the song was almost completely, you know, differentiated from the bass. And have you ever played bass?
Man, that's what I was just thinking about. I've always wanted to play in a band, but but every time that I try to play my songs in a band setting, it doesn't
gonna sound different.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't
work, you know, because a lot of the times I'm not playing the same thing on the second verse as I am the first verse, or I don't play it. The timing can be different. Each chorus could be different, you know.
Right.
So it's hard to get everybody on the same page. you know, with some of these acoustic songs that I have. But I was thinking, if I was going to be in a band, I would love to learn how to play bass and do it, because we recently, every Thursday night, a lot of us musicians from here in Huntsville have been going to Riverside. One of our friends has a space.
Nice.
And we set up all of our, you know, equipment, good equipment, huge speakers, really good stuff, and full drum set, you know, guitars everywhere, you know, keyboards everywhere, and just jam out and just jam as loud as we can or want, or as quiet as we want.
That's awesome.
Every Thursday night for the past probably couple months. And that's whenever it really opened my eyes to the bass player. If the bass player is good, he's going to direct everybody.
Right.
Everyone goes off of him, and it just makes everything easier. Now, when you plant me with my guitar in there, and the bass player is trying to play off of me, and everyone else is trying to play off of me with my guitar, no, it just doesn't work.
It doesn't work
at all. You need a strong bass player in a band setting.
Yeah, I believe it.
And
they gotta know what they're doing.
I would love to learn how to do it. You know.
Right. No, I completely understand, man.
That's just another one of those busting through the wall, learn something new. You know.
Yeah.
You get so comfortable.
And you know, I mean, that's the thing about bass guitar. It seems like the easiest thing, and in some instances, I'm sure it is.
It just takes grace playing that thing. You know? It just takes a different kind of feel.
Right.
Like you said, it's the mid. It's the mid between the drum and the lead.
And that's the thing also, like with the drums, you know, there you got to have everything right. You know, everything's gonna have to be tight for that drummer, because once they screw up or hit it, everybody knows.
Yes.
You know, and with that's gotta kind of happen the same way with the bass guitar, you know, because it's kind of like on a completely different level. It's almost the only thing that goes out of like a subwoofer, you know, like that's what you're gonna hear out of that subwoofer. If you've got like all of your, you know, major speakers going on, you've got a big PA system, so to speak. You've usually got that subwoofer, and that bass is gonna hit right through there, and that's the one thing that you're gonna feel in your friggin' heart.
Oh yeah,
like on a physical level, because of the vibrations and everything. I mean, like you can feel that, man.
No doubt about it.
Right.
I love that. I love it. I love it whenever you can feel like that.
Absolutely, man.
Especially at a good show, you know, at a good show, good sound quality, you know.
Right.
I love that.
It's I can only imagine like Tejano music. You know, like dun 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 dun, like with that subwoofer next to you.
Yeah.
Like that would be a weird feeling.
That would be a weird feeling, no doubt. Yeah, I've never been to a Tejano concert, but I can imagine standing right beside it. You know.
Yeah, just like whoop whoop whoop.
It might F you up a little bit, that's for sure.
Man, yeah. Thinking about that, you know, the subwoofer and the way that it makes you feel. Kind of want to go to like a dubstep concert as well, because that's like full of the wobbles. You know
oh yeah,
what I mean?
that'll get you for
That'd
sure.
be cool. I'm very influenced by electronic music. You know, I'm big into electronics and that aspect of music. But I haven't done the whole dubstep show yet, man.
I haven't either.
I've seen Korn when they had that, after that dubstep album.
Korn had a dubstep album?
Yeah, Korn. Yeah, The Path to Totality.
Wow.
Okay.
Was it good?
It was amazing. It was fantastic.
I'll have to give that a listen. I like Korn.
Like Korn.
Yeah.
Okay, well, lucky for you. Now, the listeners know about it now, because this podcast is like I'd say about 4 weeks old.
Yeah.
But coming up, we've got the Korn the Korn episode. So all the listeners listening now have already had the experience.
Nice.
But yeah, we go into detail. Korn has been a big influence for me. So
yeah, they're talented. They're
Absolutely.
talented dudes, man.
Right. So like outside of your own music that you play, like what do you like to listen to?
I listen to Ryan Adams. I don't know if you know who that is. I think he's one of the best songwriters in the country. He's awesome. I listen to the Red House Painters, Mark Kozlik, Sun Kill Moon. A lot of people haven't heard of those guys, but they're awesome and they're popular all over the world, just not really here in Texas. So,
what kind of music is it?
Man, the Red House Painters is like post grunge, slow core, like. Oh man, it's you just have to listen to it.
Post grunge, slowcore.
It's like it's slow post grunge rock music.
I don't even know what that would sound like.
It's awesome.
I'm gonna give them a chance.
Give Red House Painters a chance. It's
I'll definitely do that.
And then Mark Kozlik's the guy who does in that band. Then he goes and does solo stuff. Now he has a band called Sun Kill Moon, and it's basically alternative awesomeness. You know,
That's awesome.
Really cool.
I love alternative, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really where my roots come from. I guess the Nirvana thing, man. Once Nirvana came out, like a whole spiel of music coming from apathetic teenagers.
Yeah.
That's where I'm from, man.
I mean,
That's where my head is.
Me too.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Nirvana's awesome, and I've always enjoyed them.
The other night I watched that Soaked in Bleach.
On Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that. I haven't watched it yet. About
you saw that it was.
Is
there,
it about they're trying? Are they
the Courtney Love? It's about the whole Courtney Love thing.
and
whether
like
she
he might have
killed
been
him
murdered?
Yeah, murdered instead of suicided. Yeah, I'm pretty much sold on what I think the culprit was. Then,
Oh yeah,
man.
what do you think it was?
No, I definitely feel what the whole Soaked in Bleach message was. I think it's Courtney Love was hiring somebody. I think that's what happened. Like you watch it and it's very like it shows you that basically what it comes down to is she put in how do you say that, man? She like wrote it in somewhere that he was suicidal. All of his friends, none of them thought he was suicidal at all. Like it didn't come from anywhere. Like she put it like that he was suicidal and that he was gonna go get a gun or whatever like that, weeks before anything happened. So she planted it. She planted that concept, and then once they had that report, whenever they found him, they pretty much went off of that and made it an easy case for them.
What did they say about the note? Didn't he have a note?
Yeah. There was a lot to it. I mean, there was the note that she wrote out, or he supposedly wrote out, but it didn't, like they also saw like a piece of paper of her trying to learn how to, forge his signature, but he also had, way too much heroin in his body that you couldn't really be alive after having in your system. So after being, what was it, 10 times the, overdose limit, you definitely couldn't shoot yourself. And the way that they found the gun, the shell was on the other side of where it would have been.
Yeah, I know a lot of things don't add up with that. I've heard that.
A lot of things. He was definitely killed, in my opinion, but I guess it's, whether she was the one who was really doing the influencing, it just makes sense that it would be, but technically not enough, and they can't go open a previous case.
Yeah.
So,
but that whole Seattle, grunge, Nirvana, and who the other ones? Audio Slave. Is it Audio Slave?
Well, Audio Slave is you're thinking of Soundgarden.
Soundgarden, yeah.
Right.
Chris Cornell.
Right. Which Audio Slave is Chris Cornell.
Yeah, that's
right,
it.
Right.
Yeah. That's him. That's just birth of something.
Right.
You know.
Oh man, it was great. The Soundgarden. Soundgarden's one of those bands like I really liked, but there was this one song that got big that I really hated, and I saw them live, and they turned that one song that I really hated into an amazing song.
Oh yeah.
Like, so seeing them live is a big deal.
Where'd you see them live at?
Cynthia Woods.
Nice.
But I will also have to say, with my biased opinion, that I saw them with Nine Inch Nails, which is one of my top four favorite bands in the world.
Nine Inch Nails are awesome. I love Nine Inch Nails.
Fantastic. So Nine Inch Nails was a peak experience for me. So that's probably why I liked Soundgarden. See, I did it.
Yeah.
I think that seeing Soundgarden was amazing, but it could definitely be influenced by seeing my favorite band to see live.
Nine Inch Nails?
Nine Inch Nails. Because even the other bands that fit my top four aren't really that great live.
I had that record with the Bite the Hand That Feeds You record.
With Teeth.
With Teeth.
Right.
And
fantastic album.
Great.
Oh,
and
man.
It was the only record that I had that was sort of inching towards a metal, whatever Trent Reznor does, however you want to classify that.
Industrial.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
And that has as far as I've gone, you know, out of my bubble of acoustic
comfort,
of comfort zone, and I love Nine Inch Nails. I really do.
I mean, they're amazing.
Yeah, they are.
There's not a whole lot like that. I mean, there is a lot that considers themselves industrial, but I mean, his is particularly artsy.
That's what they call it, industrial?
Well, like, industrial is a big category of, like, rock that's electronic. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like an electronic metal.
Gotcha.
And that's probably why I classify it the way that it is, but it's more coined, like, in the area of, like, a ministry and stuff like that. It's kind of like, it's got this driving drum machine, you know, and then just kind of like loud guitars over it and all that, which definitely was what the first few albums from Nine Inch Nails were, you know, because it was like heavily influenced with that drum machine, and there was, I mean, it's definitely industrial. Now, if you'd still call it industrial, you know, I do, but I don't think that really, you know, it's that same sound anymore, the way that Nine Inch Nails does music now.
Yeah. They have, I mean, he has a guitar player, right? And a
Actually, Nine Inch Nails is basically Trent Reznor,
right,
and whoever he has playing with him at the time.
With him at the time, yeah, because I've watched him
Right.
online, you know,
right?
Because I mean, I've got into
So yeah, their live shows.
Yeah,
he hires people.
Yeah, I mean,
he'll have people that'll have on the road for like 2 or 3 years, you know. But there is not a Nine Inch Nails really outside of Trent. And that's just the way that it's been, you know. That's, you know, like on his album, he'll be like, okay, this is my, you know, live crew, this is my recording crew, you know, but it's Trent.
Yeah, that's have you ever heard of a band called Sparkle Horse?
No. Sounds familiar though, strangely.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's a guy named Mark Lindquist, and he was the founder of that. It's kind of the same deal. He produced all this music, you know, all this awesome music,
right?
This beautiful music, and everyone thought, you know, there was this whole band of 5 or 6 members, you know, but it was just him, you know.
Right.
It was just him, and when he'd go out and he'd just carry a few guys with him that he knew, play the drums, play the bass, you know,
right,
play them live. But the recordings, man, he was a great producer, just like Trent Reznor.
Right.
He was a great engineer.
Yeah.
You know, and that sort of talent goes a long ways.
Absolutely. It's great to see that, man. It's like also been Infected Mushroom. I don't know if you've ever heard of them.
Heard of, never listened.
Never listened to. Okay, well they're like really good in that whole EDM kind of music. It would be impossible for anybody to sit down and listen to what they're doing and be like, oh, that's no talent. Like it's impossible, because even if it's not like physical, like playing stuff, it would be friggin' impossible for anybody to get on there on the computer and do all that stuff, especially if you really understand music and how it's recorded and all that stuff. It's just crazy amounts of work, and I think it's just like two dudes that are really doing everything.
Yeah, just programming stuff in there and like sampling stuff.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's something I don't know anything about, but I do have a lot of respect for that.
Right, and the thing is it's really hard, like breaking through that wall, like we're talking about. Like it's hard to go above and beyond and understand new concepts.
Yeah, like
that, because it's so overwhelming. Like, you see, this is my synthesizer, and I play synthesizer. There's still so much unknown, so much ignorance I have of my instrument. That it's kind of a great thing. It's a great thing because it allows me to have more of an experience in this world. I'm not tapped out. I'm not to the limit. I'm not capped.
Exactly.
And that's beautiful. And with music, you never will be.
Right. It reminds you that there's always new things to learn.
Absolutely.
There's always room to grow and improve.
It's beautiful, man.
The music more than anything reminds you of that.
Right.
That's one of the good qualities of it.
So what's your feel-good music, man?
Oh, man, my feel-good music is usually pretty depressing, actually.
So is mine.
Yeah. I don't know. These songs just, I don't know, man. Like right now, actually, I have two Bob Dylan records. I wouldn't say they're feel good. I have a Bob Marley record. It's kind of feel good. I go to Bob Marley.
As feel good as you can get, man.
Yeah, I'll go down that road. I'll go down the Bob Marley road. Anything that's familiar from my past, basically, that produces nostalgia.
Right.
Is my feel good. Come back to terms with everything that's happened before and remember the music.
Right. How it made you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Music is one of those really beautiful things. It just can totally change your perception of things. It totally make you feel a different way. Change your psyche, ultimately. That's what I love, man.
Most definitely.
You set the mood whenever you're playing music. You know that. Whenever you're at 12th Street Bar and you're just like playing away on your guitar and singing your songs, man. You are changing the way that everybody in the room feels. There's nobody in there feeling an excessive amount of anger anymore. There's nobody feeling an excessive amount of depression that they can't handle it.
Yeah.
If they want, and some people want to feel that pain. When somebody does, they're not going to sit around in the bar that you're playing that music to, because it's fucking impossible.
Right, exactly. But yeah, you can. It's you strum one note on that guitar. It's going to hit you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's going to change. It's going to change your whole anatomy, all the chemicals.
It's insane, man.
There's a lot of little things like that are just amazing that sometimes are beyond us, our little human brains, that actually go down, And music's, it has some magic there, a lot of magic in music.
Absolutely, man. I mean, that's a lot of why I like talking about music, Honestly, like, that's the only thing that really gives me energy. Like, I've had people try to wake me up in the morning for whatever, and they just couldn't do it, and they complain, they get mad at me because they couldn't get me to wake up. All they have to do is just, hey, John, how many members are in Korn? Be like, what? There's 5. And then I'd go, and I'd start talking about it, and they'd be like, okay, I'm not that awoke yet.
Yeah, like, it gets you going, man.
Talk about music. If I'm talking about music, I've got the sense of, energy that's actually too much for my body.
Yes.
I can keep going. I mean, that's really where, that's why I like doing this podcast.
Gets the wheels turning.
It's music centric, and I'm really grateful that you came over here on the show and you talked with me. But also, I'm glad that you got to give us some some music to play for our listeners. Definitely appreciate it.
Man, I'm happy to do it. I'm always happy to play and to talk about music. Because it's the most important part of my life.
That's awesome, man. Did you have any message you want to mention?
Well, tonight, Gypsy Davies at 12th Street Bar.
They won't know. They'll be like, "Oh, that's great. 4 weeks ago."
Yeah.
4 weeks ago, we had Gypsy Davies at 12th Street Bar.
Yeah. Playing South by Southwest. I'm pumped about that. I'll be playing
That's
at
good.
12th Street Bar a week from today.
Right.
I don't know when they're going to get that either.
Yeah.
But I'll be around, man. I'll be here. I'm going to be in Huntsville for a while playing, just doing my thing.
Any way that they can contact you or find your music?
Like I said, now I'm in the process of making a record that I will put on iTunes and on Spotify. But right now I have random recordings, a lot of recordings actually, on SoundCloud and on Reverb Nation.
What's the link if you could word for word it?
Well, you'd have to type in www.soundcloud.com/Logan McCune.
Okay.
MCCUNE. And it'll take you right there.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And we've got a couple songs, 4 songs.
Yes, sir.
4 songs to play for you guys. So enjoy.
Well, I'm new to this, or I guess it's just been a little while since saw a pretty face like yours look at me that way. I've been for a long, hard ride. Here lately I'm taking a nosedive. But I think you just might be able to save me from a fiery crash. And I feel as if I ain't got nothing left. I know I don't go about it a conventional kind of way, but I still think we just made something here. Maybe we can be friends or something, have a drink once in a while. Maybe you could take me home away. Maybe I could call you mine. Maybe we could stay up all night drinking beer and making love. Kate, Katie, Kate, Katie, Kate, Katie. Well, I've been sick for 6 months or so and got my walking stick. I really thought it was my time to go. Thank goodness it wasn't. Seemed like this old dirt road had dead-ended. Nobody put up a sign to let me know. Now I'm alright. I guess I got a little more sweet time. Guess I got a little more love left to give. See, I'm a modern man. I'm just not cut out for this traditional living. Like a king and a queen, little pink babies in a house on a hill, bucket of bills and a big backyard, hide and wait. Written on the walls, 2 black dogs, nightlights and stars glowing in the dark. Tell myself, don't worry about it. Just be who you are and do what you do. Every time I let loose, it always seems to fall apart on me. My heart's always broke. Take another toke, intentional grounding, make another pounding. I guess I'm still a broken man. Guess I'm still a broken man. Well, I've been sick for 6 months or so, got my walking stick. Really thought it was my time to go. You don't know my heartaches, you don't know my pain. No, you don't, 'cause it don't show on me. Saw you last Sunday with your groom-to-be. No one knew the love I still had for you. Although my heart was breaking, said I'm glad for you, so you wouldn't know. It don't show on me. Misused, abused, refused since you went away. Let down, pushed around, run aground almost every day. You don't know my heartaches, you don't know my pain. No, you don't. It don't show on me. One night while they're crying over losing you, some friends of ours stopped by to stay a while. And as the doorbells rang, I quickly hid my pain, so they wouldn't know. It don't show on me. Misused, abused, refused since you went away. Let down, pushed around, run aground almost every day. You don't know my heartaches, you don't know my pain. No, you don't. It don't show on me. just abused, refused since you went away. Let down, pushed around, run aground almost every day. You don't know my heartaches, you don't know my pain, no you don't, 'cause it don't show on me. No you don't, 'cause it don't show on me. Give me a call sometime, summertime girl. It's been a gray and lonely winter. Guess I'll wait for the daisies and the cold rain to go and the sun to move a little closer. Set me free from this land, the death of my best friend, and the emptiness of the end. Give me a call sometime, summertime girl. I've come around to missing you again. All the love we made when the sun was shining, all the love we made when the sun was shining. I don't think I love you, I just think I miss you too much. Okay, maybe I love you, mostly I just miss your touch. All the love we made when the sun was shining, and all the love we made when the sun was shining, and all the love we made when the sun was shining. The sun was shining, and all the love I made when the sun was shining. Thanks, buddy.